The rain had come without warning, thick, heavy drops pounding against the tin roof of the old mountain cabin. Ethan Hale leaned against the doorframe, staring into the storm, the scent of wet earth and pine filling the air. He'd come to this forgotten ridge to be alone, to escape the ghosts that followed him since the war. Solitude was his penance. Then came the knock. 3 sharp raps, desperate and uneven. He froze. Nobody came this far into the wilderness. "Help, please," came a faint voice through the wind. Ethan's instincts kicked in. He swung the door open and saw her. A young woman, barely standing, drenched and trembling. Blood streaked her arm and shoulder, her clothing torn. Her eyes, an otherworldly silver gray, met his for only a second before she collapsed into his arms. Hey, stay with me," he muttered, catching her before she hit the floor. Her skin was cold as snowmelt. He carried her inside, laying her on the cot near the fire. The wound on her shoulder was deep, jagged, like something had clawed her. He couldn't tell what kind of creature could do that, but it wasn't human. Ethan grabbed his old field kit, the same one he'd used to patch up soldiers. His hands moved on instinct, clean, bandage, stabilize. But something about her skin stopped him. It shimmered faintly under the lamplight, not sweat, not rain. Something else. Her breathing was ragged, shallow. When he dabbed at the wound with alcohol, she flinched and gasped, her voice melodic even in pain. "It's okay," he whispered. "You're safe now." Her eyes fluttered open. "Safe," she echoed, her accent strange, words drawn out softly. "You don't even know what I am." Ethan frowned. "I know you're bleeding. That's enough." For a moment, silence hung between them. The storm raged outside, but inside, it was only the crackle of fire and the rhythm of her shallow breaths. He worked methodically, wrapping her arm, his hands steady, but inside something shifted. It had been years since he'd touched another person with such care. Years since he'd allowed himself to feel anything but numbness. As he tied the last bandage, her hand reached up and caught his wrist. "You shouldn't help me," she murmured. "If they find me here, they'll kill you too." Ethan swallowed. "Let them try." Her lips parted as if to argue, but exhaustion won. Within moments she was asleep. He watched her for a long time, unsure why he couldn't look away. Her features were too symmetrical, too striking, almost inhumanly beautiful. And that faint shimmer on her skin. No trick of light could explain it. Morning came gray and silent. Ethan brewed coffee, his mind racing. He'd found strange things in these woods before. Tracks that didn't belong to any animal he knew, sounds that made his skin crawl, but never this. When she woke, the first thing she did was scan the room like a hunted creature. "You're still here," she said softly, as though surprised. He nodded. "Name's Ethan." "You." She hesitated. "Lyra. That's a pretty name." Her lips curved faintly. "Where I come from, it means star-born." He chuckled lightly. "Well, you don't look like you're from around here." She didn't laugh. Instead, her gaze turned toward the window, to the mist-covered trees. "I'm not." Her tone sent a chill through him. "Then where?" Before he could finish, a sound split the silence outside. A low, distant hum like thunder mixed with machinery. Lyra's eyes widened in terror. "They've found me." Ethan grabbed his rifle from above the fireplace. "Who?" "Hunters," she whispered. "Not men. Machines. Sent to bring me back." "Back where?" She looked at him, and in that moment he understood she wasn't human. Not fully. The shimmer on her skin, the faint pulse of light beneath her veins. It was all real. Something in him screamed to run. But something deeper, something he hadn't felt in years, told him to protect her. The hum grew louder, closer. Outside, the mist rippled with movement, dark, insect-like silhouettes gliding between the trees. Lyra clutched his arm. "You can't stop them. Watch me." He pushed a crate against the door, loaded the rifle, and peeked through the crack in the shutters. 3 figures approached, tall, armored, faces hidden behind mirrored visors. Not soldiers. Not human. "Give her up," a mechanical voice called through a speaker. "The fugitive is ours." Ethan's pulse quickened. "She's under my roof. You'll have to come take her." Then the first shot shattered the window. Ethan ducked, firing back. Sparks flew as bullets struck metal. Lyra cried out, clutching her side where her wound had reopened. "Ethan," she gasped. "Don't." He ignored her, firing again. One of the hunters fell, its armor cracking open to reveal wires and blue light instead of blood. But there were 2 more. Lyra reached out with trembling fingers, whispering words he couldn't understand. The air shimmered, and a wave of pale light burst from her palm, knocking the remaining hunters backward. Cabin shook. Ethan shielded his eyes as the light engulfed the room. When it faded, the hunters were gone, nothing left but the echo of static in the air. He turned to her. What did you just do?" Lyra was pale, barely conscious. "I told you. You shouldn't help me." He caught her as she fell. Her body was trembling, her pulse weak. He laid her back on the cot, his heart pounding. "Stay with me, Lyra," he pleaded. "Please." Her eyes fluttered open, a faint glow within them. "Why do you care, Ethan? You don't even know me." He hesitated, his throat tight. "Because, when I treated your wounds last night, something changed. I felt alive again. And I don't know why." She smiled faintly, tears glinting at the corners of her eyes. "You reminded me what kindness feels like." The rain began again, soft and steady against the roof. Lyra's hand reached for his cheek, her touch warm despite her weakness. "If I live, they'll never stop coming. But if I die, you'll be safe." Ethan shook his head, eyes burning. "I've lost enough people. I'm not losing you too." "Then you'll have to run," she whispered. "Far from here." He looked around the small cabin, the only home he'd known for years, and then at her. For the first time since the war, he realized it wasn't a home at all. It was a hiding place, and he was done hiding. He gathered supplies, wrapped her in his old coat, and as dawn broke through the trees, they left the cabin behind. Lyra leaned weakly against him, her head resting on his shoulder. "You don't even know where to go," she murmured. He smiled softly. "Doesn't matter. Wherever you are, that's where I'll go." For a moment, the light of morning caught her silver eyes, and he saw the faintest spark of hope within them. And deep inside, where the war had left only emptiness, something stirred in him again, a warmth he couldn't name, a feeling he couldn't explain. Love. Or something dangerously close to it. As they disappeared into the mist, the old cabin stood silent behind them, its walls still echoing with the memory of the night 2 lost souls found each other, and the world changed forever.